Is it possible to hoard 100,000 copper in a single act, playing solo? Let's find out. Copper is an important currency in Back 4 Blood, but you don't really need a lot of it. If you use the card Money Grubbers, then you will probably be able to buy anything you require. However, I was wondering, is it possible to get to 100k copper playing solo? Why, you ask? Well, for scientific purposes? Curiosity? So that you don't have to? I'm crazy? I don't know. To get to 100,000, I made this get rich quick super mega plan. We're gonna use all the copper cards, obviously, loot all the copper, obviously, and we're gonna play Act 1 because it has the most maps. And we're gonna restart the last map because it will be beneficial to one of the cards. Naturally, we're not gonna spend any money, although getting toolkits might earn me more copper than I'll actually spend on the toolkit. But that would really depend on how much copper I'd find behind the locked doors. These are the cards we'll be using. We'll start with Hazard Pay, because it's a nice 250 copper each map right off the bat. Then we'll also use Copper Scavenger to find those piles of copper easily. In the second map we'll add Money Grubbers, which is the best copper card in the game. Each time you loot copper, you'll earn an extra 5 copper, up to 100 copper extra. This is actually crazy. For instance, if we find 25 copper, that will first become 30. Then if we find 25 again, it'll become 35, and then 40, and then 45, and so on. It's a bit broken, to be honest. Then we'll choose Compound Interest, which gives you 10% of your total copper at the beginning of each map. Since we'll be aiming for a high amount of copper, this is one of the most important cards. Next, we choose Bounty Hunter, which gives you 10 copper for each mutation you kill. Lucky Pennies gives you a 35% chance to find 35% more copper, which, you know, is nice. And lastly, Share the Wealth, which gives you an extra 100 copper each map. So Act 1 has 13 maps, and since we'll restart the last one, that makes 14. In the last map there is still copper to be looted, so in total I'm going to give you 15 numbers. It's probably best to go through those first ones quickly, because I don't think we'll be getting to 100,000 in the first maps, eh? We started Act 1 with 1250 copper in the first map and 3500 in the second, which is of course nothing special. We started the third map with a little over 8,000 and the fourth with over 13,000 copper. Then in the fifth map we had 18,000 copper. In the sixth, 25,000 copper. And in the seventh map, we started with 32,000 copper. Now we were halfway and nowhere near our target. I have to admit that at this point I almost gave up. But if 100k wasn't happening, I was still curious to see what was possible. So next, in the 8th map we began with 40,000 copper. And in the 9th, 47,000 copper. And in the 10th map, we were still only halfway with 56,000 copper. Then, as if the game was feeling my desperation, we started making headway. Really, this was just math, of course, as compound interest finally started making a big difference. That 10% at the beginning of each map is really not worth it when you're playing normally, but it was now. Anyway, we started the 11th map with 67,000 copper, and in the 12th we had 78,000 copper. Now we started the 13th and final map and we had 90,000 copper, and I was disappointed because we were so close. But I had temporarily forgotten that we could still restart this last map. So I left the game feeling a little anxious, I have to admit. And this is what I saw when I loaded back in again. That's right, over 110,000 copper. With some more copper to be looted, the final number was 111,595 copper, which is mind-blowing. And of course, utterly useless, but a lot of fun nonetheless. Can anyone playing solo beat me and get more? I'd love to hear about it. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It would really help me out. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.